Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today is a very important video. I think it is very crucial, especially for delivery drivers nowadays, to know which is the best platform to get on. What are the differences between them, and which one should you work for? Because there's all small differences between them, even though they're all delivery platforms. It's kind of like a different flavor in each one. So, first of all, comment down below. Let me know which platforms you guys drive for, which one is your favorite, and if you have any questions or comments on this video, let me know in the comments down below. Now, since I only do Doordash and Postmates, I haven't really been doing lately, I don't do Ubereats or Grubhub. So I'm bringing in the person who I think is the master of deliveries, UDM, to speak on this. All right, so UDM, the master of deliveries, or also known as the ultimate delivery man. I wanted to bring you in because I consider you to be the absolute master of all delivery platforms. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good, man. How you doing?
Great. Super good to have you on, and glad to see that you're rested and recovered from that COVID virus.
Yeah, I'm glad to.
We were worried about you for a minute. So first off, let's break down the different platforms of Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Doordash. What differences and what main differences do you see in these platforms? And do you have a preference?
I do have a preference. I prefer Uber Eats because it is the fastest version of all three. Grubhub, they what you see is what you get with Grubhub, and with DoorDash, they seem to be the more of the nagging the nagging app. Like, hey, you better do this, or you better do that, or you do. It's like it's that nagging version of an app that makes it annoying, but at the same time, the money can be there, and it's like you gotta you gotta choose your battles with DoorDash. Are you gonna deal with all the nagging and all the crap that it comes with, and make your money, or you rather go somewhere else? And my preference is Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. Yeah. So in my opinion, it kind of seems like DoorDash has become kind of like the Walmart. Like the quality is kind of hindering a little bit now, but it seems like, if you were to go to Uber Eats or Grubhub, maybe you're going to Whole Foods or like a local market or something, you kind of get better quality. Is that a good reference?
To be honest with you, when you ask me that, are you saying from the customer's end or the driver's end?
From the driver's end.
To be honest with you, I feel like all three of them have their days all three can, they could be exactly how you explained it. I didn't want to mess up what you just said. So it's like, yeah. So all three have their days and their time or their season. Like Uber Eats could be really great or it could be really bad. And the same thing with Grubhub and the same thing with DoorDash. But the most consistent, the most consistent, I believe, maybe because it is the number one app, is DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I see that. And I actually just watched a video by this guy called the Business Doctor on the Valuetainment channel. And he kind of broke down the fall of Grubhub. At one point, Grubhub had 50% of the market share and DoorDash had 16% back in 2018. And it looked like Grubhub was just going to take off and sail off into the sunset. And
right.
It seemed as if they were just kind of trying to please their investors and stay no, we are only Grub. We are only doing food.
Right.
And DoorDash had this master plan, kind of like Amazon back in the day. No, we're going to keep reinvesting into ourselves. And it kind of seems like that was probably the better overall plan. They had more of a long-term plan, and Grubhub was kind of just trying to please their investors at first.
Right.
So at the beginning, how long you've been doing delivery for?
I've been doing delivery since 2017.
Okay, me too. But I only did Postmates and then DoorDash. I started in 2018. So what would you say was the differences in pay model back in 2018 between Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash? Because DoorDash used to just give us a $7 every single order, guaranteed $7. And then sometimes you would get more on DoorDash.
Well, to be honest with you, I have to be honest and say that in 2018, I wasn't focused on multi-apping. I was focused on Grubhub because Grubhub, they were taking care of me. And when I say taking care of me, I literally mean that, meaning like I had contacts with their dispatchers, I had contacts with my driver specialists, and I was doing Grubhub for work. So Grubhub for work was the corporate side of things. I was only receiving catering orders. Only
Oh,
that's all I was getting, all day long. So the thing is, I can't really answer that question for 2018 because of the fact that Grubhub was my focus.
okay.
So Grubhub, I know they changed a few things in 2018, but not until about 2019 that I added DoorDash to my list of apps, and it's because there was I guess their office was always closed here, and I never did an orientation, like going to their location here and having an orientation. No one was ever there. So not until late 2019, that's when I added DoorDash. And then I wasn't doing Uber Eats at all until I got back to it around maybe late 2019, and then 2020. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a timeline so you can know what questions that I might be able to answer in full detail.
Yeah,
At
for
least
sure.
at like late 2019, if you ask me about that, and then 2020, then I could be like, all right, cool, I can answer you. But yeah, Grubhub was my focus 2018.
Okay. So how has the pay model changed for Grubhub within the last few years? Has it changed at all or has it stayed the same?
There were slight changes, and the biggest change that I remember was when they decided to pay us for distance and estimated distance and time. Now they were the biggest headache as well was when, Grubhub, their orders were never on time. And sometimes we would have to wait 20, 30 minutes on top of receiving that order. And back then, they weren't antagonizing or getting on our case about go to the restaurant, and then pulling that order from us. It wasn't like that back then. But receiving like a $7 order and then you have to wait 30 minutes or even sometimes 40 minutes for that. And yes, I was doing that back then because that was my mentality. I call that the W-2 mentality. But it's like, I felt like, they were scratching my back, I was scratching theirs. They were taking care of me on the Grubhub for work side. So I was doing, I was making sure their orders got done when I got them. So that was the biggest thing with Grubhub. Yeah, they didn't change much. It
Yeah.
was just that was the biggest change. The biggest change, and it still didn't work out in our favor. And the pay was still decent. We took a pay cut from what we were used to. Like, say, if it was a $15, if that would typically be a $15, it probably turned into like a 11, $10, And a lot
Yeah.
of people realized it. I realized it, but I still made it work for me.
Yeah, I see. So DoorDash has kind of been notorious for lowering the base pay lower and lower. Started off at originally back in 2018, it was just $7 for every single order, but it's totally different pay structure. Then they moved down to $4, then $3, and now it's down to $2, I believe, or $2.50. Has Grubhub and Uber Eats lowered the base pay? Like, is there a base pay that you see, or is it different?
Okay, so let's go back from 2018. What I remember was, depending on the region that you were working in, that would determine what your base pay would be. Like, say, Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Miami was paying, I believe, $10 minimum per hour, right? And then in Fort Lauderdale was paying $9 minimum per hour. So, and back then as well, there were other things that the driver specialist had control of, and the base pay was one of them. And my base pay was 450. Okay.
Interesting.
Not the typical driver. I was, like I said, Grubhub for work and all the other stuff that was going on. My base pay was 450. And there were times where the the I guess the system would change my base pay to everyone else's base pay, and then the driver specialist would change it back to 450. So I was being paid a tad bit more with my base pay back then than the typical driver in the area. And that's why I said, again, they were taking care of me, you know?
Yeah.
So like if they had the power to override the system, but then they were still giving me more, they would change it back, you know? And I was enjoying it, you know? But the base pay, to answer your question, the base pay with Grubhub, it gradually decreased, but majority of the time it stayed within the same area, especially when they started giving bonuses to compensate for what I still don't understand how the bonuses work, to be honest. But there's times where you get a $7 order and that $7 order has no tip on it.
Yeah.
But then I would also receive like $3 orders on Grubhub as well. So it's like I don't understand how the bonuses work, but the base pay, it has decreased, and they found a way to kind of like not give us all that information, not be as transparent with what we're being paid as a base, and it affects the pay to some level. Like I said,
Yeah.
I get $3, I get $7, but the $7 has no tip, and the $3 I just don't accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. As far as catering orders in 2021, do you still get catering orders on any of the platforms? And if so, which ones? Because I've only received one catering order ever, and that was from Doordash one time.
All right. So as far as catering orders go, I don't get catering orders on DoorDash. I have received large orders on Ubereats, but they're just a typical order, and it's like they don't call them catering, they don't call them XL, they don't call them Drive. You know, they don't have a special name for them. It's just an order that comes through. Are you going to accept it or are you going to decline it? And that order that I accepted on Ubereats was to feed 20 people.
Okay.
So I didn't know until I got there. Well, I didn't even look at the list of items that I was picking up until I got there. And when I got there, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. And it ended up paying me I think it paid me like about $80. But that's not what I saw up front, you know?
Yeah.
It was like 20 something dollars up front, and then it ended up paying me like 70 something or 80 something dollars. I get confused at times. But as far as catering goes, I do receive sometimes scheduled in advance on Grubhub. It's like the most confusing one that I've ever received is I wasn't scheduled, and that's back when I had blocks, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm block restricted, but I wasn't scheduled for the next day. It was I was offline. I wasn't even working, and I got a notification while I was on this like staycation with my family. You know, you know what a staycation is, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I got this notification, and my mind told me to hit it. It said Grubhub. When I hit it, it said you have an XL order scheduled for this day. I was like, what? So when I looked at it, it came in like a typical order. And I looked at it, it was like, I think it was paying like 80 something dollars. That was the most confusing because I'm not scheduled and I'm offline. Why are you sending it to me? you know, not be receiving this. But they knew I had the catering bags because of Grubhub for Work, even if they pulled it from Miami, but they knew I had the catering bags. So I just assumed that's why they sent it to me. But as far as catering goes, Grubhub is the app. I know what it is. I know how much it's paying. And I know, you know, it could be scheduled or it could come in like a typical order. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like Grubhub's maybe the most transparent out of the three.
Oh, definitely is the most transparent of the three. It's 100%. Like they just added the miles now, you know. I don't know if I have it in my area because of the situation with Rona. I had to get my account deactivated and all that. So I haven't been able to update to see if I would receive the order with the mileage on it. But a lot of other markets are receiving the orders with mileage. And mileage on Grubhub was the biggest thing. You know, you would accept an order, then you got to drive 20 miles for $7.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. Okay, so
Do Grubhub?
no, I haven't. They won't hire me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Neither will Uber Eats. I don't know. I got a bad ticket on my record. a long time ago, and it's been like almost 7 years, and they still won't hire me.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I even wrote them a corporate email like, "Hey, you guys should hire me so I can make videos on this stuff." But
Nah, not yet. Okay.
uh,
Hopefully in the next couple of years, man. Hopefully.
yeah,
Not a
yeah,
couple of years, but hopefully soon.
yeah. Hopefully, yeah. If you got that corporate contact, tell them to hire Tanner. Okay.
I don't. But okay.
Maybe there's a Bentley coupe of Grubhub. I'll have to hit him up.
You know what? Back in 2018, I probably would have been able to pull some strings, bro.
Yeah. Do
But
they send you
now,
any gift cards?
no. But they were trying to make, well, I mean, I know that probably was a joke directed at, the other person on the other side.
Yeah.
But they, at one point, my driver specialist was trying to make me a brand ambassador because they knew about my channel. They knew about all that
Yeah.
stuff. So but it didn't work out. And that's why I was being paid the 450 instead, and that's why he kept changing it. He was trying to push the brand ambassador thing.
Yeah.
They took it from me, man.
Damn. Okay. So last question for this video. If you were to rank, if you had to only do one platform, which I know you wouldn't do because you're the ultimate multi-apper, but if the platforms were all disappearing, you could only have one, how would you rank them?
Wow, that's a loaded question, bro. All right, look. All right, so I love speed. I love remaining busy, but I also love money.
Yeah.
So there's days where, all right, so I got to go through this. So Uber will always be fast. And when I say fast, I mean the pickup.
Yeah.
Right. They are always fast. A high 90%. I'm just going to say maybe 98% of the time in my market, Uber Eats orders are prepared when I arrive. And that is a major thing for me. My time is money. And if I say I'm working an 8-hour shift, I need to be making as much as I can in 8 hours. And waiting on food, that's not going to help me make as much as I can in that amount of time. So, but Grubhub pays well, but they're slow. They're slow. And DoorDash is like the baby of the two. And you just don't know how it's gonna go with DoorDash. You just don't know. It could be fast food or it could be a typical restaurant that you expect to be fast and then it doesn't go as planned. So it's kind of like if I had to give a ranking to all three, I get paid. I got to put Uber Eats in first place because I could make a lot more in less time with Uber because I'm on the move. I'm on the move.
Yeah.
So even if the pay isn't as large as a Grubhub, like one order on Grubhub, but Grubhub's order volume is like, let's say every 10 Uber is one Grubhub,
Yeah.
So Uber is really busy here. So if they're really busy, I would go with Uber and take a bunch of orders, get them done. And it will probably be a lot more than that one Grubhub that I could be waiting for. And DoorDash, like I said, is a baby between the two because DoorDash is faster than Grubhub, doesn't pay as well as Grubhub. It has the potential to, but they also hide the tips. Well, what we see up front. So it's kind of like, eh. And I don't see offers higher. Sometimes I don't see offers higher than $8.50 unless it's like a PetSmart or something like that, or it's a stacked offer or something. So ranking Uber first, DoorDash second, and then Grubhub third, only because of the Grubhub speed. If they had that speed of Uber, man, Grubhub would be my go-to. If they had the speed of speed of Uber, and then the order volume of DoorDash, Grubhub will be.
All right, you heard it, Grubhub. Make a few changes, and you're going to be on top again. Cool. All right, for this video, I think that's all the questions I had. Oh, one last thing. Do any of them do alcohol delivery other than DoorDash? Have you ever received one?
Does alcohol delivery.
Okay.
I do not recall doing alcohol on Uber at all, but they have sent me something to opt into alcohol delivery. I
Okay.
just have not done an alcohol delivery on Uber.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like they're kind of grouping in these alcohol deliveries a lot with the double dashes. That's the only time I've gotten them.
Yeah, I heard about the double dashes. I'm interested in that in my market, though.
Yeah. Somehow they figured out how to get you to do 2 orders and only pay you for 1.
Yeah.
They didn't really like negotiate it or anything. They're just like, all right, you guys are just gonna do 2 orders. But all right, cool. Thanks for all the tips on the 3 different platforms. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you check out UDM's channel, UDM. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Peace.